10 alarming signals from your body that you shouldn't ignore. Our body is an amazing and incredibly complex mechanism that works without pause, taking care of us every second of our lives. We only have one body for our whole life, there won't be another. And the older we get, the more carefully we should pay attention to those hints it sends us. Sometimes the body seems to whisper, "I need help." And sometimes it speaks loudly, through pain or unexpected changes. Have you noticed that as we age, we start to listen to ourselves more closely? And that's the right thing to do. Because noticing a signal in time can save your health, and sometimes even your life. Today I'll tell you about 10 signs that you should never ignore. Some of them may surprise you. And if you recognize yourself in even one of these points, don't delay seeing a doctor. It's better to be safe than to regret it later. First signal, pink feet. As a rule, the skin color on your feet is not much different from the rest of your body, even if you pamper your feet with creams or massages. Foot care is wonderful, it makes them soft and pleasant, but it shouldn't change the natural skin color. Pay attention, have you taken off your shoes and your feet seem unnaturally pink? Has the skin become thin, developed folds, and the heels have become rough and hurt when pressed? This is a reason to be alert. Sometimes such changes may be related to a metabolic disorder, for example, diabetes. In that case, the best thing to do is to take a blood test for sugar levels. Which doctor should you see? An endocrinologist. They will check not only your sugar but also your hormonal balance, since that's what determines the functioning of many organs. Second signal, discomfort when hugging. Who doesn't love warm hugs from loved ones or grandchildren? They give a sense of closeness and joy. But if, in the moment of a hug, you feel not warmth but sharp discomfort, as if someone squeezed you too tightly, even though the hug was normal, that's a troubling sign. Sometimes you may feel as if something is tightening your waist, legs, or arms, as though you're wearing invisible shoes or gloves. This may indicate problems with the nervous system, such as multiple sclerosis. Don't panic, but don't ignore these sensations either, especially if they're accompanied by pain or burning. What to do? See a neurologist. This disease affects the nerves, and the earlier it's detected, the better the chances of preserving your health and activity. Number 3, thinning eyebrows, an important signal from your body. Eyebrows are not just a part of our face that helps us express emotions and highlight beauty. Throughout history, different cultures have had different preferences. In some places, thin, neat eyebrows were valued, in others, thick and expressive ones. Today, we often shape our eyebrows with tweezers or makeup to look younger and more attractive. But what if you notice your eyebrows becoming thinner and sparser without any effort on your part? Without frequent plucking or cosmetic procedures? This may not be just a cosmetic issue but an important sign that your body needs help. Thinning of the eyebrows is especially noticeable at the outer edges, where the hairs are usually thickest. This symptom can indicate hypothyroidism, a condition in which the thyroid gland produces too little hormone. The thyroid is a small but very important organ that regulates metabolism, energy, and the body's overall state. With hypothyroidism, people often feel very tired, may experience constipation and depression, and gain weight gradually without a clear reason. This condition requires attention and treatment. For older adults, it's especially important not to ignore these signs, since with age the function of glands and metabolism changes, and maintaining thyroid health becomes even more essential. If you have these symptoms, or you've simply noticed a change in your eyebrows, don't delay seeing a doctor. An endocrinologist will perform the necessary blood tests to check thyroid hormone levels and, if necessary, prescribe treatment. Special attention should be paid to hypothyroidism in pregnant women, as a lack of hormones can lead to developmental delays in the baby and even congenital defects. But for all other age groups as well, it's important to detect and correct this imbalance in time to maintain quality of life and health. Number 4, swollen toes, a signal not to ignore. Let's take another look at our feet. They often serve as a mirror for the body's overall health. Look at your feet right now. Have you noticed that your toes have become thicker, swollen, and resemble little sausages? This change is not just a cosmetic problem, nor is it just a reason to be embarrassed about your shoes. It's a warning sign you should never ignore. Swollen and painful toes can often indicate psoriatic arthritis, a chronic inflammatory disease that affects not only the joints but also the skin. This condition can cause pain, limit mobility, and reduce quality of life if you don't see a doctor in time. If you notice such symptoms, make an appointment with a dermatologist or a rheumatologist. These specialists can make an accurate diagnosis and prescribe treatment to reduce inflammation and pain. Modern medicines and therapy methods can effectively control this disease, bringing back the joy of movement. Here's an interesting fact: many of us think that toes are just an evolutionary remnant we no longer need. But in reality, every toe plays an important role. Even the little toe helps maintain balance when walking and running, supports stability, and reduces the load on the foot. If toes truly got in the way of human survival and adaptation, evolution would have gotten rid of them long ago. But after all, we still have an appendix, an organ often called useless. This means nature sometimes leaves spare parts that might come in handy or simply don't cause problems. So take care of your feet, they support you in motion every day, help you maintain independence, and keep you active for many years. Number 5, loss of appetite. Why this is an important signal, not just a whim. We all know that food is the fuel for our body, a source of energy and joy. Even if you try to control your weight or stick to a diet, a healthy appetite is an important sign that your body is getting everything it needs to function properly. But what if suddenly the desire to eat completely disappears, and along with it you start noticeably losing weight? If this is not related to a conscious choice but happens suddenly, this is a serious reason to pay attention to your health. There can be several reasons for loss of appetite. Sometimes it is related to metabolic disorders, which can arise for various reasons, ranging from genetic traits to long-term poor nutrition or chronic illnesses. As we age, the body becomes especially vulnerable to such disruptions. In addition, if along with loss of appetite you experience unpleasant sensations, such as heartburn, pain, or a bitter taste in the mouth, it is possible you are developing gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD. In this condition, stomach acid flows back into the esophagus, the tube connecting the mouth to the stomach, causing irritation and discomfort. Food stops bringing pleasure, and the symptoms worsen the loss of appetite. In such a case, you should definitely see a gastroenterologist, a doctor who specializes in diseases of the digestive system. They can order an examination and choose the right treatment to relieve the condition. And here's another important tip: if you decide to change your diet or start a weight loss plan, especially at a mature age, be sure to consult a qualified nutritionist. This will help you avoid deficiencies of important vitamins and micronutrients, maintain health, and keep your energy up. And remember, a nutritionist should accompany you throughout the entire period of dietary changes, to adjust the plan in time and monitor your condition. Take care of yourself and listen to the signals your body gives. It's the best way to live a long and active life. Number 6, itchy skin, when a pleasant sensation becomes a worrying sign. Who among us doesn't know that light, almost pleasant sensation, when something starts to itch and we scratch with satisfaction? You could even say scratching is one of life's simplest pleasures. Especially when your skin itches slightly after a long walk or being outdoors. However, if itching becomes a constant companion, if you increasingly notice that your skin isn't just slightly itchy but practically burning, this is already a reason to think. Sometimes itching is the first sign of more serious health problems, including a symptom of diabetes. High blood sugar can cause skin dryness and unpleasant irritation. But don't rush to panic. Most often, itchy patches appear for much simpler reasons, for example, insect bites, new cosmetic products, or clothes made of poor quality fabrics that cause mild allergies. If it seems to you that the cause of the itch is something else, and it does not go away, you should definitely see a doctor. Which one? It's best to make an appointment with an endocrinologist. This specialist will check your blood sugar levels and perform the necessary tests to rule out or confirm diabetes. And did you know that scratching the skin is not actually a cure for itching? Paradoxically, when you scratch, your brain receives signals that actually intensify the sensation. In 2014, scientists from the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis discovered that during scratching, the hormone serotonin is released in the brain. In mice, this led to increased itching, and in humans, a similar mechanism appears to be at work. So next time you feel the urge to scratch, try to distract yourself, shift your attention to something else, or gently apply a moisturizing cream. It's especially important to take care of your skin as you age. It becomes thinner and more sensitive, and even minor irritation can turn into serious discomfort. Number 7. You can't tolerate enclosed spaces. What might be behind it? Many of us love fresh air and open spaces. Especially as we age, we begin to appreciate the opportunity to go outside, take a deep breath, and gaze into the distance at the sky and trees. But if you notice that enclosed spaces cause you severe discomfort, for example, on public transport you constantly ask to open a window, and in an office with closed windows you feel as if you are trapped, this may be more than just a whim. A feeling of lack of air, heaviness in the chest, bouts of claustrophobia, or shortness of breath in confined spaces, all of this may be a sign of heart problems. In particular, you should check the function of your heart and rule out the risk of heart failure, a condition where the heart cannot pump blood as effectively as it should. In addition, you should pay attention to your thyroid gland. Hypothyroidism, when the thyroid works more slowly than it should, can also cause weakness, fatigue, difficulty breathing, and increased sensitivity to stuffiness. There is also such a condition as heat intolerance, when the body poorly regulates its temperature. This may be linked to certain medications, excessive caffeine consumption, thyroid problems, and sometimes to illnesses such as multiple sclerosis. If you often feel there is not enough air in a closed room, don't delay a visit to the doctor. Start with a cardiologist. The specialist will check your heart, listen to it, and order the necessary tests. Then you should visit an endocrinologist, who will evaluate the function of your thyroid gland. If both of these important organs are fine, still don't stop there, undergo a general medical check-up. Our body is a complex system, and sometimes the source of discomfort can be unexpected. Be attentive to your sensations, because they may be the first warning bells that help prevent serious problems in time. Number 8. You can't stand open windows. What it means for your health. Some people feel like fresh air from an open window is a real lifesaver. But if you notice that even in the summer, when others are enjoying a light breeze, you start feeling cold, shiver, and try to close the window, this may be more than just a habit. An inability to tolerate cold is a sign you shouldn't ignore, especially as you get older. Most often, it's caused by an imbalance in the thyroid gland. This small organ in your neck controls many processes in the body, including body temperature. If the thyroid is working slowly, a condition called hypothyroidism, the body stops warming itself effectively, and you start feeling cold even in warm weather. Also remember that a lack of iodine, an important trace element for thyroid function, can make this problem worse. And constant feelings of cold can also be a sign of anemia, meaning a lack of iron in the blood, or of other conditions such as fibromyalgia, chronic muscle pain, or narrowed blood vessels, when blood doesn't circulate well to the extremities. What should you do? First of all, make an appointment with an endocrinologist. This specialist will run the necessary tests, take blood work, and check the thyroid's function. If your thyroid is fine, don't delay a full medical check-up. It will help identify other possible causes of your discomfort. You shouldn't tolerate discomfort. Your body is always trying to send you a signal, and your job is to hear it and respond in time. Number 9. Sudden episodes of kleptomania, a troubling signal from your brain. Have you ever heard of kleptomania? It's a condition in which a person suddenly begins to feel an irresistible urge to take something that doesn't belong to them, even if it's a very small item that's easy to buy. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But if you used to be a calm and law-abiding person, and suddenly you or your loved ones start noticing such unusual behavior, it could be a warning sign. Often, such changes in behavior are the first signs of memory problems or dementia, conditions that, unfortunately, aren't uncommon with age. It's very important to understand that a person with dementia or cognitive impairment may not even realize they have a problem. And it doesn't mean they are bad or dishonest, it's just that their brain works differently. In these situations, special care and attention are needed. If you notice such symptoms in yourself or your loved ones, don't postpone seeing a doctor. It's best to start with a neurologist, who can assess the brain's condition and determine if there are signs of dementia. It's also helpful to consult a primary care physician or psychiatrist. These specialists can suggest methods to help manage impulsive urges and improve quality of life. If the diagnosis is confirmed, follow your doctor's recommendations. Today there are many ways to slow the progression of the disease and ease its symptoms. And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask for and accept help. Care and support from loved ones play a huge role in maintaining health and well-being. Remember, each of us deserves respect and understanding, especially during difficult times. Number 10, changes in your nails, what your fingers are telling you. Let's go back to our feet and give a little attention to our hands, because it's the nails that can send us an important signal about our health. If you suddenly notice that the nails on your fingers have become thicker, wider, and have taken on an unusual shape, that's a reason to be cautious. This phenomenon is called the drumstick symptom. It's not an independent disease, but rather a sign that something serious is happening in the body. Most often, drumstick nails are associated with problems in the lungs or the heart. However, don't forget about other organs. The intestines, the liver, and even the thyroid gland can influence the condition of your nails. Why is this important? Because nails, like little windows into our health, can tell us a lot about hidden processes in the body. If you notice such changes, the first thing to do is see a cardiologist. They will perform a complete examination of the heart and help determine whether further treatment is necessary. Then it's worth visiting your primary care physician to check other body systems and rule out possible diseases. And here's a fun fact, this symptom was first described by the great ancient Greek doctor Hippocrates, who is often called the father of medicine. Almost 2,500 years ago, he noticed and connected changes in finger shape with serious illnesses. That's why this symptom is sometimes called Hippocratic fingers. Imagine how wise that man was. If he saw that his discoveries are still helping doctors today, he would probably be very pleased. So keep a close eye on your nails, it could save your health. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Remember, our body is our most reliable friend, and it's constantly sending us signals. If you've noticed any of these signs in yourself, don't postpone a visit to the doctor. Take care of your health, because an active and fulfilling life starts with taking care of yourself. If this video was useful to you, be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends and loved ones, so they too can learn important things about their health. And if you want to learn even more interesting and helpful tips, subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss new episodes. Stay healthy, treat yourself kindly, and stay active. See you next time.